My life is a meditation. I'm walking a spiritual path. There's only once I was firmly down this path could I look back and see how entrenched I had been in the physical world. We're going to take a journey through what constitutes the physical world, what constitutes the spiritual world, and what exactly a spiritual path is. What makes up the physical world? I think the word physical gives the game away, doesn't it? It's the physical objects. It's the three-dimensional objects that we can see, that we can touch. It's the buildings around us. It's the televisions that we watch. It's the phones that we use. It's the bodies that we live in. And it's the money that we spend. And a million other things. All the things that we can see and that we can touch. What is the spiritual world? The spiritual world resides beyond the physical objects and in the exact same place. It's not the things that can be seen and can be touched. It's the things that are felt. In a building, we take a walk around, we can see the walls, we can see the desks, the computers, the chairs, stationery cupboards, rooms, to name a few. But what else is there? Space. Lots and lots of empty space. The building needs the space to be what it is. If there was no space, there'd be no building. We need the form and the formless to make the things. The Tao Te Ching taught me that. It's an ancient Chinese text on Taoism. I've listened to it on YouTube many times, read by Wayne Dyer. Have you listened to it? I find his voice incredibly soothing and melodic. I'm yet to have a handle on Taoism, so I'll keep listening. The spirit of a thing is the formless within it and around it. Think about it. When you walk into a room, can you feel when a television is on, even when there's no sound? Like, what are we feeling? It's the vibration of it. It's emitting that vibration to the space around it. That vibration is as much a part of the television as the box set is. Phones are an interesting one. The energy of phones is more thoughts and feelings. Granted, it has space within it and around it, and it emits vibrations, of course, but the thoughts and the feelings are much larger, and that's just another dimension of spirituality. I think it's fair to say that the majority of us are in codependent relationships with our phones. Moreover, we're addicted to them. I know I am. The spirit of the phones, as far as I can tell, is the energy of addiction, numbing, and ironically, disconnection. These devices, which were meant to connect us and bring us closer to each other, has had the opposite effect. We've never been more disconnected. Sure, we can get the news from the other side of the planet in a matter of moments, but we're no longer barbecuing with our neighbours. Do we even know their names? No, we're not taking the time to have phone or in-person conversations anymore either. It's just like, just text me about it, yeah? The way that we've used these phones, and we're continuing to consume these phones, has created a very dark energy around them. Let's turn to the human bodies now. Our physical body is quite obvious, isn't it? So you can see our skin and the hair, our eyes. I find it fascinating to consider the organs which are inside my body that I've never seen, and in all likelihood will never see. There's a pancreas in there, an appendix. There's lungs that keep breathing, a heart which keeps beating. Can you feel yours? There's so much of our physical bodies that we don't even see. We see even less of our spiritual bodies. Our spirit is in here. It's what animates the bodies. It's life itself. Our bodies need our spirits in here to give it life. My spirit doesn't need my body. My spirit will continue to exist long after this body has returned to the earth. This body, however, needs that magic and that life force to keep the lungs breathing and this heart beating. Money is a curious one. The way we see money is dependent upon our relationship with it. For example, like someone that doesn't have a lot of money may look on a $100 bill as a lot. When I was in university and I didn't have much money, $100 was a lot to me. It's groceries, sushi even. But then a person that has a lot of money may look on $100 like it's nothing. It's just like, what can I buy with that? Probably not a great deal. Now, either of them wrong? Or is it all just a matter of perspective? Undertaking international travel introduced me to more aspects of money. I travelled to over a dozen countries last year, and this afforded me the opportunity to see the currency in each of these countries. And I have to confess, the more countries that I went to, the more money lost its meaning. I just kept seeing it as pretty pieces of paper and interesting looking coins. So what paper are we getting this time? What do the coins look like? It's not the physical aspect of money that gives it any power at all. It's the spiritual aspect. It's the fact that we all agree that we need the money to do certain things, like buy the bread and the milk, put fuel in our cars, buy the clothes, go to the places. This is an agreement. Sort of like when we play Monopoly in our lounge rooms, yeah? We all agree that we need the money to buy the things around the board. When I was travelling, I felt like I was playing Monopoly all over the world. It was the Egyptian version, the Sri Lankan version. I'm in the UK now, playing the UK version. Gotcha. Money is an interesting one. We all know what we've agreed to do with it. It has to be one of the largest energies on our planet. Returning to the start again, I said we're going to take a look at what your spiritual path is. So now that I'm walking a spiritual path, I haven't ceased to exist in the physical world. Far from it. I live more deeply in it than I even knew was possible. And I try not to get caught up in it. My focus is my spiritual world. I go into buildings, I just see them a little differently now. I notice the space. I notice the walls. I notice the edge where the desk meets the space, or in this case, where the shelf meets the space. shelf can only hold its shape because the space chose to end there. The shelf needs the space to be what it is. With my television and phone use, I'm very mindful of how I'm consuming these things. I really don't want to spend my life in front of a television, and I don't want to forget that I'm not my mobile phone. So many of us use our phones so much, we think we are them. We think we need them to breathe, to exist, to be happy. This is not the case. I find the less I use my devices, the happier that I am. I spend substantial time taking care of my human body. I tend to the physical by taking care of the spiritual. That is, my thoughts, my feelings, my spaciousness. Journaling keeps me sane. A healthy diet nourishes my body. Daily meditation ensures stress doesn't live in this body. And walking connects me to nature. Life happens on the inside. If I don't feel good, every day is going to be harder than it needs to be. Life is already hard enough. I'm not going to make it any harder. My body is my temple, and I treat it accordingly. The pervasive energy of money is unavoidable, but this doesn't mean it has to be the center. I spent many years being driven by money. Not anymore. I'm motivated by what makes my heart sing. I want to live while I'm here on this finite human ride. I don't want to live to make money, to pay the bills and buy the stuff. I don't want to tick the boxes and get nowhere. That's not living. I'm confident there will come a time when we abolish money, and we realise there's no scarcity here. We have everything we need. Nothing is missing. We will learn to share better. We have to learn to share better. Money is not working for us. Too many of us are suffering in this broken capitalist world. In summing up, we have learned what the physical world is. It's made up of three-dimensional physical objects that we can see. We've learned what the spiritual world is. It resides in the exact same place as the physical objects. It's the things that can be felt. The physical is what can be seen. The spiritual is the space, the vibrations, the thoughts and the feelings. We've learnt that a spiritual path overlaps and looks similar to a physical path, and it looks nothing alike. I will walk my spiritual path as it brings me to peace, to truth, to love. I will walk my spiritual path with the intention of helping the souls around me come back to life. As my friend Ram Dass beautifully says, we're all just walking each other home. I love that. We're all just walking each other home. It is time to come home, friends. It is time.